92.7 Super FM.
Your one family.
Others are the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill, which will repeal the Federal Inland Revenue Service Act and establish the Nigeria Revenue Service. And then we have the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill, which will create a tax tribunal and a tax ombudsman. All right, so at the heart of this debate is the proposed shift to a derivation-based model for value-added tax distribution, which would allocate tax revenue to the states where goods and services are consumed, rather than where companies have their headquarters. So the bills were rejected by the 19 Northern governors and traditional rulers, and currently members the National Assembly are divided over the tax reform bills, which is generating a lot of reactions. So, Dr. Emeka, good morning to you. Yes, at this point, I'm bringing you in. Let's start with your thoughts on the President Tinubu tax reform bills.
I want to submit emphatically that it's a far-reaching, wide one, and if properly understood and implemented, will go a long way in reshaping the physical framework of Nigeria. It bothers me so much that everything is reduced to politics in Nigeria, especially when you mentioned that northern governors and nationals have rejected it. And I can bet my finger that not up to 90% of most of these guys have actually gone through those documents to find out what was contained therein. I won't be in doubt if it is the true position of things. And I know that their basic opposition is actually based on the derivatives, the one that has to do with VAT and consumption. Kimberly, one of the things I've discovered in Nigeria is that because of the skewed nature of our federalism, because we have become used to this Babiyala, beggarly federalism of collecting pittance from the center and sharing, most of the constituent units, both at the state and municipal level, have refused to do what they are supposed to do. All over the world, VAT is actually a consumption tax that is collected even at the subnational level. It does not even involve much of the federal government. The only thing that comes to the center or to the central port is very, very small. We used to have a fiscal regime that helped Nigeria to move so much progressively in the First Republic. And that was a fiscal regime that allowed the constituent units to control 50% of whatever they received, pay 30 to the central port, and then 20 to the federal government. And that is how it should be, even beyond even the new tax regime that have apportioned tax VAT to be in such form. Other aspects of our national life should be made to be like that so that it enable us to be very, very productive. Now, what would this do? If you look at Nigerian tax to GDP, it's one of the lowest in the world. South Africa, tax to GDP of South Africa is about 30%. In fact, I was looking at the South African revenue waterfall as at 2022-2023. Out of $1 billion revenue, over $81 billion came by way of different types of taxes.
Yeah.
And these are 60 million people, almost a third of our population. Now, the argument is, are Nigerians paying tax, enough tax? No. Of course, people will argue over 197 million Nigerians live under poverty. In fact, if Nigeria was to be a true federation, over 200 million Nigerians will be living under social welfare fund because they do not even earn enough to take care of themselves. And that is because we are unproductive. So what do? The tax reform bill is very, very excellently crafted. Okay. That the issue is they support to ask themselves this question, do to enhance. Yet, I checked into a hotel. Let me tell you how because if you go to places like North, like Kano, his bar will not allow you to sell alcohol. They will destroy those alcohol products and companies. Yet, the people in Kano will want to collect the highest derivatives from VAT that is procured from consumption of alcohol. I was in Dubai. I checked into my hotel room. When I opened the fridge, I saw a tot of alcohol. Okay. Do you know the price? $70. One of the ways they try to discourage people from drinking is to make the tax on alcohol to be very, very expensive. So if you want to drink, then you have to pay for it. And then that was what they did. They never destroyed anybody's business. They never banned anybody. And this thing made people, if you're going to any local, they try to put incentives that will attract businesses, that will attract consumption. But in Nigeria, those are the constituent units who will stifle business. They will put on laws that will destroy it. Yet they want to derive benefits from those states and municipalities that have done things to move their own areas forward and to attract investors and to attract people to move into their localities in groups. So we must look at this holistically. The tax reform bill is excellently crafted, and I will appeal to those governors and those legislators from certain part of Nigeria to look at it from the selfless patriotic point of view. It
Okay.
will be go a long way in helping Nigeria,
All
and
right.
especially the aspect of it too that our centralized collection of revenues.
Yeah.
All
So
this staggered revenue collection by customs, by MPA, and by other agencies have led us to lose almost about $20 billion annually through corruption and
okay.
inefficiencies.
Now, Dr. Emeka, we have to understand the details of this bill so that we can be carried along, because we're not all development economists and investment bankers. So you could please break down for us the four bills in the simplest way possible and why you are commending the bill. How is it going to help Nigerians? Yeah.
The first aspect has to do with tax administration, tax management, and ensuring that people are made to pay their tax and not try to. The other one, taxes are
Case, I don't think they're beggars, but now, how about the acts? The
collecting duties,